How's it going, guys? Ranger Squid coming at you with episode 3 of the Saradomin only Iron Man. In the last episode, we ended off at around 308 total levels, and within about an hour or so of the day, I actually got another 42 42 levels, because all I did was fletching, fire making, and woodcutting. Woodcutting was 4, went to 25. Fire making was 11, went to 20, and fletching was 1, now it's 13. The reason for that is I wanted some easy levels, and so I'm going to be focusing on getting my fletching up first, and then after I get fletching up to probably 30, I'm going to then focus on crafting and doing some of the crafting quests that are out there, such as Dwarf Cannon and some of the other ones I may have missed. So I just wanted to show that now because I totally forgot to record before with that, and I also made a bunch of headless arrows, which I will eventually turn into steel and myth arrows, because those are going to be the best arrows to make at the point, rather than making iron or bronze arrows, which I will at this point probably never use in my life. The only reason I'd be using iron arrows right now is because it's the only arrow that I have a lot of. With steel, I only have 41 of them. Also, as you see on the screenshot above, I got a maze random and I did really well with it, and I got 84 death runes and some steel arrows, if I remember correctly. So that's a really nice find. I could sell those easily, 108 each at the general store, probably quite a bit at magic stores. That is a way to get money. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue fletching for a bit, and then I'm going to continue fire making as well. I just realized I have my screen completely wrong. And yeah, so I'm probably going to push for, so again, 30 fletching. I'm probably going to do 30 or 35 fire making. It's pretty easy to do. And 35 wood cutting, because I'm just going to be wood cutting the entire time. I don't need to worry about really raising that for anything specific right now. So I will be back with you once I get started on that. I'm really trying to push for 30 for willow and also 30 for fire making, because then I can just do willow trees at any point without having to worry about it. Yeah, so I think about around 14 or 15, I think I can start doing oak stuff. So then I'll start pushing on that regard, and when I do that, I will come back to you shortly. And that is 15 fletching, which means we can make iron arrows, as well as just in general use oak logs to make iron shafts or arrow shafts. How's it going, guys? Editor Squid here, coming at you with a bit of a rant and also an update on exactly what I did. So right now you're seeing a fast-forwarded version of like a good hour-long clip. So I've done this specific Editor Squid moment 5 times. Every single time I tried to do it, I got interrupted somehow. It just... I'm just upset. I'm just upset that every single time I try to record anything for this video, I get really interrupted. Anyway, what I did was, after I completed the fletching, woodcutting, and fire making levels, which you saw during the little montage, was I worked on some quests that are, in a sense, helpful and required for the wanted quest. So for Wanted itself, you need to complete Enter the Abyss. To complete Enter the Abyss, you need to complete Rune Mysteries. So I did the prerequisite for Rune Mysteries. I did all that, and then I did Vampire Slayer to get some free attack experience while I had the wiggle room in my defense level experience. And yeah, from here on out, it's mostly gonna be regular Squid talking about what he's doing, but this was just for one day. I'm just explaining exactly what happens, and now we'll be back to the regular video. Boom. All right, so after doing some research, you can see on the image up above you, the Black Knight Titan has 1,000 magic and ranged defensive stats, and only a little bit of melee stats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to 41 defense, and then I'm going to train attack and strength to 40 just to balance it out, but keep defense as my highest stat. I just realized this literally like 5 minutes ago. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I'm going to head over to Rock Crabs now, up in Relica, basically back to my home that I've lived at for quite some time now. And I will get to 41 defense and then 40 attack, 40 strength. So while I'm killing crabs here, I just wanted to talk about the very, very late goal in this account in the full Justicar armor, which are rare drops from the Theater of Blood. Now, I need 70 defense to actually be able to wear them, so I will be, no matter what, getting 70 defense before I even attempt the Theater of Blood in the case that I get a purple. Now, with that being said, for Theater of Blood specifically, I'm going to just say this now. It's probably going to be a good year and a half before I even get there. I'm going to allow myself to wear whatever armor I have, excluding other god armor, so no Gothics, no Zimrek, anything. But if it's like Void armor or something else that's beneficial to me to actually be able to complete the Theater of Blood instead of dying every attempt in the first room, then it will just help me out in the end for the long-term goal, then I allow it. Because there is absolutely no point in trying to force myself to wear rune armor for the Theater of Blood, which is, as many people and I have seen, is really hard. And it's been out for a couple of years, and there's strategies, of course, but you still need to know what you're doing and have game knowledge without efficiently dying too much. So for Theater of Blood, I'm going to allow myself whatever armor. For any other thing, I have to look at the other parts of the armor and other things that are required. That will depend on what I have to do for those. For most of this, I can probably just wear the rune armor or the monk robes. I can wear the Saradomin cape, etc. So I can do a lot of the stuff. Also, probably defense is going to be my first 99. Maybe HP could be the other 99, but for now, defense is probably going to be my first 99, if anything. So, for the time being, I don't have a requirement until I get full initiate and then full rune. But yeah, so I wanted to just talk about it before I actually got there in about a year and a half, whenever I actually get to the Theater of Blood. I'm going to be working on this count a lot because I really enjoy the concept of it, and I actually love being able to go anywhere I want to in comparison to my other account, which is restricted to currently free-to-play areas, which isn't all that fun in comparison. So I'm going to keep going on crabs for a while. I'll be here for probably a couple hours, and I will be back with you eventually once I get some good levels. So while I'm here killing some crabs and getting some of my strength and attack up, let's talk about the goals of the account. In my initial episode, I said that one of my goals was to obtain all of the Saradomin equipment. Looking into it, it is going to be a little bit of an insane if I do everything. And so I'm going to make a few exceptions. Number one, the Saradomin Max Hood is only obtainable when you're getting the Max Cape. Literally. The Max Cape is for when you get max total levels, 2,277. I'm just going to let you know right now, I have never done that in my life, let alone get a 99 in a skill. So I don't have plans to get the Saradomin Max Hood. So that's out of the picture, obviously. The other ones, all the hollowed items from the hollowed sepulcher are all via hollowed marks, which require me to loot chests and stuff, and I don't understand the process, but I would have to look up more specifically. And actually a few of these aren't really that usable outside of the area. They just make the area inside of it easier to navigate. The only item in there that is quote-unquote usable, that belongs to Saradomin, is the Ring of Endurance. This requires 70 agility to equip, 66 thieving to get because of the chest, and on top of that, technically you need 92 agility to reach the coffin. So that's going to be another exception unless I decide to really push for that 92 agility, which I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. Lastly, let's talk Theater of Blood. First off, the Holy Ornament Kit, which can be obtained from the Theater of Blood, is only obtainable a 1 out of 100 chance from hard mode chests. I've never done the Theater of Blood myself, let alone much PvM content in general. I would have to get the Scythe, the Rapier, and the Singuesti Staff, along with 3 Holy Ornament Kits, and not lose any of those in the process. That would also require me to get 80 attack, 90 strength, and 82 magic, which I probably will be getting anyways. But yeah, so I'm going to remove the Holy Ornament Kit from the requirements. It will be a post-game goal if I ever so choose to try the Theater of Blood that many times to get all 3, etc. So the Theater of Blood is practically out. I'll do it sometimes just to try it out, see if I can actually do it, but you never know. The Castle Wars Hood and Cloak and Saradomin Banner are all Castle Wars tickets, which I'll do some, and I'll obviously be on Saradomin's side. They don't have any requirements, but in a sense, they're just for that, and they don't give many bonuses in general. Other than that, if I do not include any of those, what you see on the screen is a screenshot of all of the level requirements actually required for my account. And it says only 454 in total, and I have 390. Yeah, so... Oh, also, in my footage that I forgot to show, I got 30 strength, which is really cool. Completely off topic. So without the Theater of Blood weapons or the Ring of Endurance, I need 75 attack, 75 defense, 70 range, 70 prayer, 75 magic, and then only 16 construction, don't need HP, and 48 crafting. It's basically just a melee combat thing. So, along with all the Saradomin equipment, I need the Falador Elite Diary completed, which I will look up what the levels are for that and show you on screen, because I will have that ready to go. But I just really wanted to talk about that really quick and make sure that the exceptions are understood of, okay, this is a cool idea. This is going to be fucking dumb if I am not a PvM person who's been doing this for 7 years now, or 6 years, whatever, because I've been playing since OSRS came out in 2014, 2015. For full time, basically. So, for now, I am going to keep training. I'm going to make all of these, goals, I'm going to make them smaller so that they do not seem as giant as they really freaking are. And that will just make mentally me feel better about doing this. I really want to do this. This sounds like an absolutely fun idea. So, I did some work. I didn't do much, but I spent some time. And by time, I mean I literally spent 30 minutes trying to figure out how to start Hunter in general, and found out that I bought an excessive amount of bird snares. I have 7. I have 7 Hunter, which is amazing. And I have 100 bird snares, literally. I have a bunch of feathers. I don't know if I can actually use these with fishing. I got some butterfly jars, and I got some meat, which I'm actually going to just real quick cook because I can. And after this, what I'm going to do is, honestly, I want to get 40 attack cook that as a spit roast. What? Okay, we're just going to drop those because those are useless. I'm not going to try to cook that on a fire. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at the quest line for the White Knights and see the requirements for those quests. I'm going to start working on those. If it requires me to go above 41 defense, such as like a skill requiring like 50 or something, then I'm going to work on getting defense up first, as well as attack, aka back to the crabs. If it doesn't, I'm going to work on those skills, because I have some skills up right now, but I want more. I have to say, while I'm finishing up this quest, this was just long. I didn't realize how long it was until I started doing it. Yeah, so next time, no matter what, I get teleports beforehand. I do not do this quest without teleports. If I do it without teleports, I will scream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end episode 3 here. So I did quite a bit, probably include quite a bit of what I did, and then after that, I am going to next episode work on defense training up to 4550 and magic training up to 4550, along with completing a few more quests that I haven't completed yet. Those include Corsair Cove, because that's just a free quest, or the Corsair Curse. Probably Demon Slayer, because it's pretty free. Imp Catcher, if I ever feel like finishing it. Pirate's Treasure. A few others that are just there. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to leave a like. And if you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.